Dwane, I was just asking Kyle about that last game less than 2 weeks ago against Detroit, and what worked well. I mean, you guys kind of went wire to wire for the win, but you withstood their sort of late surge in the
I tell you what, the late surge is who they are. I thought they were a little dreary from the back-to-back situation, and we caught them at the right time at that, and built a lead. But tonight, we're expecting to see more of the fourth quarter. The way they came storming back at us, into us, we was trying to catch the ball at half court. Our bigs couldn't get open. We couldn't make a pass. So that's what we're expecting tonight.
Do you allow yourself to even look at these guys? Like you look at it now, they're right in that range where playoffs started today, you'd be facing them. Do you allow yourself to look ahead that way?
No, we can't look that far. There's a lot of basketball still to be played. We got a lot of things that we got to continue to work to get better at. All this stuff about we have a lot of stuff to get better at, and and I'm sure they feel the same way. So I don't think any team right now in the East can be comfortable where they are. If they are, they're fooling themselves, and I'm not going to let our guys or whoever wants to listen fool themselves and thinking that there's a cushion. There's not a cushion. A bad week, you're right. Sleeping with in the outhouse. So again, all this stuff and that there's a cushion between 2 and 3 is bullcrap.
What does the lessons of last year play into that as well?
It should. I was saying the same thing last year, Doug. Yeah. Life lessons have taught me way before last year of you can't get comfortable. And that's why one thing we got to do is continue to have good, hard practices. Not long, but good, hard, brisk practices. I thought last year we got so worried about saving our legs and saving our bodies, we didn't continue to get better. I mean, it's a fine line. 6 one way, half a dozen another. But for us, as being a young team, we're not a veteran team, to continue to work and put the work in and go hard.
With your team, rest in February and March is a lot less important than it is for an old team.
It's not. There's no question. And we're not an old team. 7 years, 8 years maybe is our oldest guys. So we got to make sure we continue to work and treat it like, and be smart with it. I understand that. Believe me, I've been in it so long. But we got to still have contact. We had so many non-contact practices toward the end last year. I thought it hurt us. And thought it took away our edge a little bit, and that's on me. But there's a fine line between wearing rest and rust.
Dwane, how much is that overplayed now in today's NBA? Everybody looking at, rest and rest and rest. But as Doug said, if you don't win, I mean, what.
The key is I think you have to understand your team, your age of your team. If you got an old team, rest is important. But if you got a team that hasn't been there before, they don't know how to get there, the only way that I know how to get there for a young team is to work. Resting a young team who hasn't experienced a lot of things, a lot of situations, and hadn't had a lot of reps at things, it hurts you, I think. And until we get 10, 15 years in the league, then we can start talking about rest and that type of thing. Now, we do have to get smart with Kyle's minutes and DeMar's minutes, but as far as work at practice, I don't think there's a problem with going hard and going smart.
You mentioned the bigs at the end of the Detroit game and not being able to get open. I remember after that game, Jonas was in the room and he had his head down and he was mad and he was cursing. And was it all the bigs towards the end there?
It was all of our bigs. It wasn't just Jonas. It was not only the bigs, it was the wings too. Had trouble getting open and pressuring our passes. We didn't execute our press offense, our side out of bounds offense toward the end of the game the way we worked on. So that's why we let them know after the game of those are the more important things, even as much as winning, is making sure we execute and focus on the little things. And we worked on it the next day, the next practice day we had, and hopefully we got it corrected.
Dwane, what do you think the possibility is that you might see something like that earlier in the game?
I'm sure we'll see it. Again, that we're more prepared for it, than we were, I promise you, the other day. Again, young teams have to go through that to experience it, unfortunately, and You try to warn them about it, talk about it, and let them know. But until they get hit in the head and feel the pain, then you realize, okay, coach is not off the island completely.
When you talked about last year, you guys have kind of built this gradually, I guess, over the last 3-4 seasons. Mm-hmm. I guess in some ways, you look at the Pistons. Right now, they're probably in their rebuild, probably where you guys were 3-4 years ago. I guess speak to the point of how folks nowadays, people want things instantaneously. Talk about having patience in the process.
It's huge. And again, we're going through that now still. 4 or 5 years ago, we were 30th in offense, 30th in defense. And then overnight, we guys had some success, and now we're expected to win. So patience is huge. A lot of people don't have a lot of it. As a coach, you're trying to push to get better, but at the same time, I understand where we are, who we are, and how hard it is to get to that next step. And it's not easy. The next step for our organization is probably one of the hardest ones to take. To go from the bottom to the middle of the road to knocking on the door to taking that next step to completely entrench yourself there is the hardest one. We're not there yet. Again, we're happy about what we're doing, but the rest of the league probably looks at us and I know they do. I know how people talk around the league that are they really for real? We've got one thing we have to do is earn that respect by staying here, improving, and getting the job done.
Speaking of quick reactions, Derek Fisher got fired today.
Well, again, it's tough. It's tough. Again, you just talked about patience, and it's something that we don't have a lot of, and that's hard part of our business. I thought Derek was doing a good job. They've improved defensively. They've gotten better in a lot of areas. Injuries you can't control, so it is very difficult. Our jobs are difficult, but again, that's part of our job description, and we got to continue to do our job with our team every night and not listen to the noise and listen to the hype and believe the hype. That's the hard part. You start believing the hype, and that's when you get in trouble.
I don't want to make it because I don't want you to kill anybody, but they sort of got you too early in Minnesota. But here they let you grow through a couple of bad years. That must make you feel at least solid about this organization.
Bad years rebuilding with a purpose. Let's call it that. Rebuilding with a purpose. And that's the thing that our organization's been patient, doing it the right way. And again, Masai's always said it, he's not going to mortgage the future to win right now. And again, you want to build something that's sustainable. And what we're doing is sustainable. Now, again, like I said, to take that next step, whether it's acquisition of players, improvement, or whatever, is one of the hardest to do in sport, whether it's football, baseball, or basketball.